Hi guys, it's Michael for video number 10. Jeez. On that note, since this is the 10th video, I've got a lot of outpouring from people from around the world, to be honest with you. Especially, I keep saying this through my Instagram, and I'm helping someone in South Africa right now, two people in Turkey, one in Siberia, and one in the UK, and I believe there's one in Germany. But people are pouring out because they can't talk about certain things in other parts of the world. So I'm going to do the videos every 2 weeks instead of weekly because I'm so busy answering questions and things. And most of the questions I answer for these people are done privately, and because a lot of the questions they ask are personal, and I don't want that played out. And anyway, in the background there's Roxy. Roxy, Roxy, Roxy. There she goes. And Rona's sleeping. Rona had a bad night. She was up all night. I don't know what she was doing, but anyway, she's knocked out. All right, so one of the questions, though, is so simple, and some people might say it's stupid, but it's really not a stupid question. And one of the guys that I'm helping with in one of the other countries asked me if his HIV viral load is 0 and he's non-detective, could he pass it to somebody else? In theory, you can't. You can't pass it on to somebody else if you're using unprotected sex. But the theory doesn't stand up if you really think about it. So this is why it's controversial, and you have to really think and use your head and just think about this for a moment. I've told you this before in other videos. When they do a HIV test on you, even if it's a routine test, when they take the blood from your arm, they're only pulling 2% of the HIV in your blood. The rest of it lives in your intestines and in your lymph nodes and certain pockets in your body. So they're not getting a true reading. So you may be non-detective. It may show non-detective, and it's usually anything under 30,000 is non-detective. I believe it's 30,000. And but it can change. It can change. So you may get tested at the lab 2 weeks before your doctor's appointment, but by the time you get to the doctor's appointment, your viral load could be going back up again. But yet your test results say non-detective or 0, and that may be a false negative. So yes, there's a huge possibility that your viral load changed since your last blood test, because it's not a consistent blood test. It's not. I wish I could say it in a nicer way, but they're not really checking you the way you should be checked. Okay, pulling it from your arm, again, 2%. That's nothing. That's nothing. So I don't know if I'd believe it or not. It's a guideline. It definitely is a guideline. So could you pass it on to somebody? The truth of the matter is, yes, there's a possibility. That's why either the other person should be on PrEP, and I hate to even say that because I don't think any medications or drugs should be acceptable anyway. You should do it through diet. We're going to jump into that in a minute. But so my answer to that person was just exactly how I explained it to you right now on the video. I wouldn't take the chance. If I knew I was HIV positive and if I was having sex with somebody who was negative, I would hate for it to go wrong. Okay, and then you live with that guilt for the rest of your life because you don't want to infect anybody. So anyway, the other question was, which is kind of people just don't know this yet. That someone asked me, can you catch it from hugging somebody? Absolutely not. HIV is not airborne. It doesn't fly through the air. like germs do. So it's impossible to catch from hugging someone or holding or whatever. Other people have asked me, can you catch it from drinking off the same bottled water or a glass of water or whatever? And no, you can't. You can't catch it that way. But I remember when I was about 11 or 12 years old, and my grandma from my dad's side, my dad's mom, she was a cute little German lady. Her name is Claire. And my grandma Glockner, that was the last name, she got diagnosed with cancer, lymph nodes, and in her neck. And she, every time she'd come over, she was kind of a yellow color and jaundice looking, and she was getting weaker and weaker. And I was scared to hold her and to kiss her because she had the big C word. And this is back in the late 60s. She died in the, either late 60s or real early 70s. But anyway, cancer wasn't that popular back then. And so you were scared of a cancer patient because it was so, you didn't talk about it. If someone had cancer, you kind of hushed it up and you talked under your breath. That's just the way it was. I'm just telling you the way it was. It's not like today's world. Someone has cancer now, it's all over social media and blasted everywhere, and everyone talks about it. So that was, I remember my dad, my mom trying to tell me that I couldn't catch it that way. So eventually, I always would hug my grandma. She was a sweet lady. If you see something on the end of my nose, I had that cancer burned off, but it's really disgusting red, and it was bleeding for 2 days because it's healing, so I put makeup on there. And I have a spot here too, but that one is healing a lot faster than the tip of my nose. And yes, that stung like hell, okay? Okay, so being on keeping your viral load at 0, keeping your T cells up and everything. I keep talking about nutrition, and I probably will forever, because nutrition is everything, whether you have a disease or not. But this goes for cancer, this goes for HIV, this goes for a lot of different diseases, okay? So, you know, this country spends trillions and trillions of dollars to cure diseases. Or are they? Are they really trying to cure diseases? But those diseases that we're all trying to cure or fight, it can be as simple as a change in your diet to control it, or to prevent it from spreading, or prevent it from even happening. Sure, I got HIV, and now I jump on the bandwagon of trying to tell everybody how to eat. But it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. Before I was HIV positive, I've said this in prior videos, I used to eat healthy, and as healthy as I could. Of course, I wasn't like an Olympic training or anything like that, but I did watch what I ate, and I always did my protein shakes. So this, you know how things happen for a reason. Okay, I don't know why I got HIV. I don't know the reasons behind it. But things build up through your life, and you meet people, and you wonder why you met this person, and then the puzzle comes together as you become older. And it's happened so many times to me. The people we meet in our lives, you meet them for a reason. We don't know what they are sometimes at the time we meet them, or they enter our lives, but they impact us, and we don't forget certain people. And I believe that whoever you believe in as your creator, if it's God or whatever, I believe it's planned. I do. Back when my kids were young, I don't know exactly how old they were. I'm going to say 8 or 9. And a lot of you that watch these videos don't know what I'm going to say here about the park. But it was called Penn Park in Uptown Whittier. And I had my kids there playing in the park. They were little. And I was sitting on the bench. And about 2 benches over, there was a lady I don't know, she was about 85 years old. I would say, I would guess 85. And she was just sitting there all by herself with a big smile on her face, just smiling. And I kind of got up to go play with Gina and Jessica a little bit. And as I walked by, I said, "How are you?" And she says, "Oh, I'm great. How are you doing?" And I could tell she was just a sweet lady. You can tell she had this smile on her face, this confident smile, just this sureness about herself. She was relaxed. She was at peace. I wanted to talk to this lady. When you talk to older people, you learn stuff about life. You just do. I've never met an older person. As growing up, I used to love to talk to older people because they had the knowledge. They've been through crap. They've been through hell. They've lived life. They've learned. They learned how to make it that far. So I was interested in her. So after I played with the kids for a little bit, I spoke to her, and I said, "You really look good for your age, and you look like you're really healthy." And she said, "Yeah." She says, "I've been healthy for about 15 years now." And I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "What'd you do?" And she said, "The doctors had me on every medication in the world, treating my high blood pressure, treating heart condition, treating this and that." And she says, "They had me on so many meds that I was confused. I would drool. I couldn't sleep right. I didn't feel right." So she said, she was a European lady, and I forgot where she told me she was from, but I remember her telling me lividly that she did the apple diet. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's an apple diet? You know? And she said, "I stopped eating all foods. I stopped my medications. And all I ate was an apple. 3 times a day, I started eating apples. Because an apple has no side effects. An apple is healthy for you." So she started doing this. It was a European thing. She explained to me that she didn't think of it herself. It came from her family. She said she started with the apples, and then she would add in a new thing like once every 2 or 3 days, and she would add stuff in like spinach or broccoli or cauliflower and fruits and different kinds of vegetables and a banana and grapefruit. You can't eat grapefruit if you're on blood pressure medicine, but you can eat grapefruit if you're not on blood pressure medicine. So she started doing that. And she calls it the apple diet because she was able to find out the foods that were causing all these things to be wrong with her. Her high cholesterol, her lipids, her triglycerides, and her blood pressure. She found out that she had to cut the sodium. She had to cut certain things, and she had to cut the meat out of her diet. And she ate fish, and I'm just sitting there. I was young. My kids, I wasn't that young, but I was a lot younger. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, this woman knows the secret. And to myself, I thought, that must be really hard to do. This must be really hard, but she looks so happy. Well, hell, she was happy. She was drug-free. She was free of the chemicals that were in her system. She was free of, her mind was clear. She could think for herself. She could do things for herself. She wasn't an invalid. She was at peace with herself because of the nutrition she was putting in her body. And I'll never, ever forget this lady. Never. She made me think the rest of my life. And I never brought this up before because I actually forgot about it. But it was always in the back of my head. But when I started making the videos, I forgot about this wonderful lady, and I wished I remembered her name. It's probably Ethel or something, but anyhow, okay. So, let's get on nutrition for a minute. Again, I'm going to show you some products that I use, and this isn't all of it. There's tons of stuff I do, and some of it is extreme, and some of it's some things that are really controversial, and I'm not going to get into those yet. I'm going to get into the basic ones, the simple ones. But these things have all worked on me. First one, apple cider vinegar. This is like in the old days, the tonic, the medical tonic that takes care of everything. This is all 100% natural. Down at the bottom, it's really dark and hazy. That's called the mother. You just shake it up though. You want to shake that up. I put 3 tablespoons in a glass with about 6 to 8 ounces of bottled water with 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, Bob's baking soda, and I didn't bring it out here, but it doesn't have aluminum in it like Arm & Hammer, so you want to buy a baking soda like Bob's. So I drink that 3 times a day with this. Seriously, folks, those who are HIV positive, Google this with HIV, and you won't believe the benefits. People that do not have HIV, Google this anyway. Google the hell out of it. There's more benefits to this. Again, you could spend over an hour to 2 hours talking about the wonders this does, including cleaning your countertop. It cleans really good. But anyway, I don't use it as a cleaner because it's expensive, and I use it for my body. It's fantastic. It does do weight control, gives you so much more energy. All right, enough on that one. Psyllium husk, another wonder. This is absolutely fantastic. It cleans you out, keeps your poop, this is going to be a little gross, keeps your poop all clumped together. If you have loose bowels, you will not have loose bowels after you take this. I do 4 tablespoons a day, 2 in the morning with a lot of water and mix it, and 2 in the afternoon with a lot of water and mix it. And this will keep your intestines clean and together, and that's where most of the HIV settles anyway, is in the lower section of your belly. So this is good no matter if you have a disease or not. Keeps you cleaned out, okay? Excellent stuff. I also do hemp seeds in my protein shake, and no, I don't get stoned off of that. As you can see, it's bought at Trader Joe's. It's good for all your omega, for your cardio, and it's got so many different vitamins and stuff in here. Again, Google hemp seeds and the benefits. It's excellent. Chai is another one that I get from Trader Joe's. You don't have to buy these from Trader Joe's. You can go to Whole Foods, Sprouts. There's plenty of places that have this kind of stuff. But the vitamins and the values that are in here are amazing. It's so rich in proteins and things. Read about chia seeds and the hemp seeds, okay? Those are just a few of the seeds I do, actually. So that's another good one. Now, I mix it, in the next video, I'll probably show you the protein powders. I do 2 different kinds. I do a regular protein and I do a whey protein, and then I mix them together. For my dinner has changed back and forth. I've been off of meat completely. I've been back on certain chickens that are farm raised with no antibiotics and of course no GMOs and stuff. But then I've been away from meat completely now for almost 2 months, and so since I've started this new way of eating at night, cutting out all meats and only doing fish and salmon, I cannot believe the change that I've had in myself. So this is what I grill this in the pan with some olive oil. It's just a little bit of salmon. You get those at Trader Joe's. No more meat, and this is far healthier for you. And it's got a ton of protein in here too. 23 grams of protein in just this one piece. So when you're HIV positive, it robs the protein from your body, so you do want to do that. I add some asparagus tips, and I fry that up. Not fry, but I put the pan on low with everything with virgin olive oil, okay? I cut that up. I use a half a bag of spinach, and Trader Joe's sells a seasoning called Seasons 21. It has no sodium whatsoever, and it tastes excellent. You put that on top of all this, plus the asparagus tips. And then I cut up a few of these mushrooms that are organic. So basically, mushrooms, spinach, asparagus tips, and my halibut is my dinner, and my only thing I've been eating, and along with my protein shakes and Greek yogurt. Okay, so that is absolutely working. Again, I don't think I've had more energy in my entire life than right now. So it's hard. It's hard to stick on that. It'd be nice to order a pizza, double crust and all that stuff, and breadsticks and Roxy, and but I know what it would do to me. It destroys you. It destroys you. It destroys everything. Read about the chemicals you're putting in your body. Please keep your mind open. I can't say that enough. And just give it a shot. And when you feel it working, when you feel it working and you see the difference in yourself and your ability to do things, you don't want to stop, because nutrition is like a good drug. Of course, I've never done drugs like that, but I would imagine, because I'm addicted to very, very healthy food at this point in my life, because it's working. Okay? So we'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a open mind, try certain things. Just stop drinking sodas and see how you feel. Stick with water. You don't need anything but good clean water, okay? And make sure you check your pH, okay? Love, peace. I love you guys, and I really appreciate you watching, and we'll continue this journey. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.